And the NFL draft, I cannot believe we've gone 35 minutes on a draft week without talking about the Detroit Lions, Brad Holmes, and the pimp job he's going to do on the entire NFL on Thursday night. Field Yates and Mel Kiper came up with their mock draft, which lazy. This is what I call this mock draft. Lazy. And you know why? Anson, well, let's tell you who they're going to draft at 28. The Detroit Lions at 28, Mel Kiper has Mikael Williams. A lot of people have that. Edge out of Georgia, right? A lot of people have that. Blah, blah, blah. Aiden Hutchinson, they need someone across. Blah, blah, blah. We've heard all that. What did Brad Holmes say last week, though? Like, Maz, can you quote Brad Holmes from last week? What did he say?
I can quote him. He basically says, we need defensive ends, so I'll just draft a defensive end. I guess if he can't play, I'll still just draft a defensive end because we need a defensive end. That's what you guys tell me. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to draft, like I always do, the best player we think will fit in this locker room because we are family. And if you don't fit, you must have quit. They're not going to put him in unless he is a fit. I would not be shocked if he went out and got an offensive lineman with the first pick. I know we all say we got to get DN. I would not be shocked whatever this guy does. I will be shocked if he takes a corner back, but he could do that as well.
He's going to take the best player available. Period, end of story. And
100.
that's pretty much what he said last week. Like, listen, you want me to chase a defensive end and draft guy that's ranked 37th on my board when I'm passing up on my 7th guy because he doesn't fit the position you think we need? We all know they need defensive end help. We all know that the whole defense got decimated last year. But Brad Holmes isn't going to do what you want him to do. Brad Holmes never does what you want him to do. Brad Holmes made Braylon Edwards walk off the damn stage when he drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. Turned out okay. This is what I've been telling people for the last 2 years because Brad Holmes has earned this they should have earned this with everybody. He's earned the right to just have your trust. Just sit back, shut up, enjoy draft night, come on down to Buddy's, have a nice cold beer, some good pizza with us, and let Brad cook. And then evaluate it in 2 to 3 years. We can have the conversation. But if he trades up, it's going to be the right thing. If he trades down, it's going to be the right thing. If he takes a quarterback, and I'm a Jared Goff guy, you know what I'm going to say? Brad Holmes is smarter than me. He knows what the hell he's doing. If he takes a wide receiver, I'm not going to be like, oh, my God, they're trading J-Mo. I'll be like, Brad Holmes knows what he's doing. He's smarter than me. They take an offensive lineman. I'm not going to say, oh, my God, Taylor Decker's career's over. I'm going to say, you know what? Brad Holmes knows what he's doing, and he's smarter than me.
Answer before you keep going here. Albert Breer, big NFL guy, insider, says he's heard, and we've said this before, but now Albert Breer puts it out today. He's heard the Lions are open to trading Jameson Williams in this draft. Just wanted to put it out there to you. Now you may have the floor.
Where did he hear that?
Came from Albert Breer, Doug Kleiman.
If you don't put names to the sources, I don't credit them.
Well,
listen,
nobody really
you know
does.
what I heard, Maz?
Nobody does, man.
You know what I heard, Maz? You know what I heard about you?
I'm afraid.
No, but see, I can make up anything.
I know. I'm just telling you what he said
All right.
a little while ago.
All right.
At some point, Detroit Lion fans have to get on the same page with this franchise. This franchise is not being run like it has been our entire lives. This guy, every draft, has done things that has made Lions fans scratch their heads, get upset, and then in hindsight, that 2 to 3 year later, review, we're all super duper happy. I've talked many, many times about how I believe these guys have a list. And it might be 18 people, it might be 22 people, but it doesn't matter where those guys fall. They are absolutely getting one guy each and every year off of that list, whether they trade up or whether they trade back or whether they trade twice because one of those guys is still sitting there in the second round. But James Pierce is not coming here, okay? Mike Green is not getting drafted by this team. Shamar Stewart, they have no interest in these guys. Guys with no college production and problems personally, some some litigation in their future, these guys aren't coming here.
Right.
And the absolute just obsession with trading for an edge, with drafting an edge, with signing an edge, these guys don't go out and fill holes. They go out and draft the best players. They find the best players. And at some point, the fans in Detroit have to pick up on that.
It amazes me that this regime, this team, and every player on it hasn't earned everybody's trust by now. Like, you go 15-2. You have the number one offense in the league. The year before, you go to the NFC Championship game. All built upon a guy that took over a team that was doing nothing with Matt Patricia at the helm. And it's happened in 4 years. And there's still people that think they know better than Brad Holmes. What he's done is nothing short of a miracle here in Detroit.
Big time.
And until they show regression, and I guess if you want to argue they didn't win a playoff game this year as regression, you could. But I could argue 15-2 was progression during the regular season, gaining a first-round bye, which should count as a playoff win if we want to be technical about it, because they got past the first round. We can get on the technicality of it, but they have never shown that they're taking a step back. They've never shown that the product that they draft, they can't coach up to be better. And I'm talking through Derek Barnes, through a Kirby, through Jack Campbell year to year, through, hell, their free agent with Alex Anzalone. It's not only about the player they are drafting on Thursday, it's about what they can mold him to be.
Absolutely.
Listen,
Absolutely.
I said it last week, and I'll bring it up again. Stick, you're new in the room. As much as I wanted them to go out and get Trey Hendrickson, Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, I know deep in my heart, I'm not a dummy. They can't do it.
Yeah.
They can't do it because they have 7 or 8 guys here that they have to pay. Let's start you off. Aiden Hutchinson, 1. Jahmyr Gibbs, 2. Jameson Williams is 3. Kirby Joseph, 4. Brian Branch, 5. Then you got Jack Campbell, 6. Sam Laporta, 7. And I'm missing one other guy. There's another guy that they've drafted.
Aleem?
No. At least 7 players. Out of those 7 players, they probably can't keep them all. That's why in my back of my head, I believe one of them is going to get dealt. If not now, then
J-Mo.
the following year.
That's J-Mo.
That's where the Jameson Williams comes in.
I agree.
And they had Matthew Golden in here last week, the Texas wide receiver, in for a visit. Is it a smokescreen? Who knows? Who knows? He's not going to be there at 28. But remember what happened a few years ago when they went from 32 to 12 to get that receiver that they love.
He's traded up to 12 twice.
Right. So you don't know what this guy is going to do. And let me introduce, and Pete, we're going to play the NFL Network here. Stacey Dales.
You got it, buddy.
You got it?
Got
This
it
is
covered.
Stacey Dales on NFL Network just a couple of days ago talking about how she would love to be in that Lions war room.
I love Michael, by the way. Love that guy. I want to sit in the draft room with the Detroit Lions. I don't care if they pick late all the time because they're good. They are fascinating. Brad Holmes is the wild card, right? You just don't know what you're getting with him. He spoke today. He is so unpredictable in the draft. And I wanted to put together the whiteboard because you got to get creative a week out from the draft. And so I put together the whiteboard just to show you what he's done and remind you what he's done in the first round of the NFL draft in his era, right? In 21, they're sitting at 7. He's like, I got to have Penei Sewell. So he goes and gets him right away. I mean, that was his first year, right? So you got to get the best player available right there. And that's what he does. He hates it if you ask him, are you going to draft this position of need? Like, that's not his style, but he falls in love with players. And in 2022, right? Aiden Hutchinson's sitting there at number 2, take him, right? But instead of using the 32nd pick, so they were going to have to wait all the way to the end of the first round, they love Jameson Williams, the wide receiver, despite that injury coming into the pros. They moved all the way up to 12 and did some nifty trade work to get him at number 12. I mean, that was massive, and they targeted him. Brad Holmes said that today. They wanted him so badly they moved up that much. In 2023, here's where it gets interesting. They're sitting there at number 6, right? We've seen him take Sewell. We've seen him take Hutch. And now they move down. Instead of using the 6th pick overall, they move down and get Gibby. And then at 18, they stay right there. They get Jack Campbell, the linebacker. And then in 2024, another 29th later pick. And they love Terrion Arnold. Brad Holmes said today we had an affinity for him. We saw him play as a starter last year in his rookie campaign. He's going to be a hell of a player. They move up to 24 to get him. What is my point? What are they going to do at 28th overall in this draft? They've got 7 picks. They could do anything. And I want to sit in that draft room with the Detroit Lions because Brad Holmes, it starts with him, and he's a master at it.
That is Stacey Dale's NFL Network, and she is a closeted Lions fan.
I think she's out.
Let me tell you, man.
What's her name?
Stacey Dales.
Oh, yeah.
Stacey Dales.
Yeah,
She's got heels on.
Easy.
former All-American.
Stacey Dash and Stacey
Hey,
Dales.
former
Big
All-American
Fimbo.
basketball player. Very good athlete. Used to be married to Dan Schulman. Was a great
So
announcer.
she's single?
Used to is
yeah,
the key
she's
word.
single again.
Used
So,
to is the key word.
nonetheless,
Guys, let's stay focused, fellas.
Yeah, we're gonna
let's
stay focused.
Let's stay focused.
I'm
You
gonna
put the
stay
words.
focused.
She said words too.
she did. I love her.
That was part of the charm.
I love her. I love
she
what
can
she
say
says.
words?
She's one of
That
my
she loves the Lions.
She's one of my faves, man. Anyone that loves our Lions automatically goes to the top of the list for me. She knows her stuff. The national audience, they know what this Lion team's about. They know what Brad Holmes is about, the former Enterprise car guy. That's right. While he was sending out rental cars, he was dreaming about getting an NFL player ready. And he was with the Rams behind Les Snead. He comes here. This is his Super Bowl. It's the draft. And I can't wait to see what he's going to do. I don't think they pick at 28. I think they move up and get their guy. Who it is, I don't know yet.
Check the Raz scores. That's like, do we have the Raz scores yet? Do we have the full list of
There's
that?
some. There's some. I don't
There's
know about
some?
the full list.
Okay.
There is some.
Because, I mean, that's kind of what people are saying is the dirty little secret for Brad Holmes, how he drafts, because you saw Vaki last year off the charts with his Raz score. So, like, that's kind of the metric that he's using more than anything else. I don't know if that specifically cracks the Brad Holmes code, but look towards that Raz score if you want to see who's the best available at those positions.
But also look at college production. That's not something that they shy away from at all. And Shamar Stewart is a Raz star who had 4.5 sacks in his entire career.
Right.
He had 11.5 pressures in his entire career over 3 years. So to me, that's not a guy that's going to happen. I mean, if Kenneth Grant is there at 28, I think that his college production and his personality, he's going to fit right in with this Lions culture. And that's a Spartan saying, I want a Wolverine. But I agree with you guys. I don't think we're picking at 28. I see them moving up into the high 20s.
They got 7 picks.
I think Derek Harmon is the guy that they want. I think Derek Harmon is the guy that they want.
That's
a
who
guy
I
that
want.
they'd be willing to move a guy like Hendon Hooker or some later picks or a combination to try and get to that.
Who? Tell me about him. Harmon.
The ability that he has to put pressure on the quarterback is unmatched of anybody else coming out in this draft. Like,
Does he
I
sack
would
the
put him up there
quarterback
in the
or does he
top
just
5.
chase him?
Both. He does both. I mean, he killed it at Oregon. He's this huge, strong dude. Could operate the middle. You could move him to defensive end. He's a great complement piece. I've said it for months now. We can check tape here at Woodward Sports. That's my guy. I would even trade up maybe like 5 picks for him. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's going to be there at 28, but if the Detroit Lions land him, I think that's such a steal of a draft pick for us, and it completes that defensive line in a way that every critique of Brad Holmes and what he does and doesn't do would be fulfilled, and everybody could live happy with the first-round pick.
Hey, Field Yates and Mel Kiper have him 21 to Pittsburgh.
See?
So
21. That's not far.
That's why I said I'd move up like 5 picks
that
to go
ain't
get
far.
him.
Well, and we talked about that. I threw it out there. I'm gonna add a little bit to make it a little more realistic for the Steelers to accept it. 4th-round pick, 1st-round pick, and Hendon Hooker to move
They
up.
don't need Hendon Hooker. They got Mason Rudolph. They're
Yeah,
going to
but
get Aaron Rodgers.
They'd love to have a guy that they could possibly play
Maybe.
for the future.
Maybe.
But to me, they get a young quarterback who's not that young, we know. But you get a 4th-rounder, and you move back just 7 picks at 28. I think that maybe it's not that deal, but Derek Harmon, to me, that's that guy that ends up on their 18 best player list. And if he's within striking distance, you're going to see Brad Cook.
God. Honestly, you will see the biggest smile on draft night live from Buddy's downtown Detroit.
Hope you're right then.
If we land Derek, to me, there's nobody else that I would rather go after. But that's just me.
Okay.
Good point.
But also, once again, people, just because I want him, if Brad doesn't take him or passes on him, I'm gonna be like, Brad Holmes is smarter than me, and Brad Holmes knows more than me, so I'm okay with it.
So you won't react like everyone reacted when we took Jahmyr Gibbs instead of Jalen Carter?
Right.
That's one of my favorite videos of all time. Me and Anson, it was at 5th Avenue in Royal Oak.
Yep.
They draft Jahmyr Gibbs. Everyone's, and the only one yelling is me and Anson going, yes! Yes!
It's great.
We loved him coming out of college. Like, we talked about him for months in advance, and you can even go back on woodwardsports.com. I wrote an article.
Which one of you geeks have him on your fantasy team?
Neither. Jonah has him.
Your best friend has.
Jonah has him, yeah.
Shout out Jonah.
So, yeah, whoever Brad Holmes decides to take, I'm fully behind it, but I think we all have our favorites.
And at what point, at what draft, does the rest of Lions Nation get on board with that? Because these guys have done nothing but hit and hit.
They
and
win.
Hit.
That's all they
win
do.
15 games with 29 guys are injured on your
Right.
defense.
Right.
But there's still question, like Ryan Lentz in the back. He hates Jared Goff, and I have to ask him, like, what more does the guy have to do?
Run
And
a 4.40, I guess.
That's what I don't get for haters of anybody on this team. Like, I love Jared Goff. Let's take it. Like,
Not throw 3 interceptions and a fumble.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. What else does he have to, like, what else does anybody on this team have to do? Not throw 3 interceptions? So, like he did the first year when people were dropping balls in the NFC
I'm
Championship
just
game?
breaking your chops, man.
No, but this is my frustration
Yeah.
with people like you, Maz.
I'm
Your
sorry.
ilk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you.
All right, I'm going to set the scene for you. You could only have one of these, okay? The Lions move up to 21. It's probably about 10 o'clock at night. The Pistons and Knicks are coming down in the final minute of the game. It's tied. You have a choice. You can only have one. You want to watch the Lions draft pick, or you want to watch the last minute of that Pistons game?
Do you need to watch a draft pick live for him to play on your
I'm
team?
asking him. I'm asking Stick. Because he moved up, and Derek Harmon's out there.
He's watching the Pistons game, Maz. I'm going to tell you right now because he knows he can just pull up his
he doesn't
phone and be
seem
like,
too
oh,
sure.
that's what I
The
got.
last minute can last like 10 minutes.
He doesn't seem too sure about that pick right
Neil
now.
gave me a lot of crap last week for saying I'd pick the draft over a playoff.
Yeah.
Now a full
And it's
playoff
game 2. You got
versus
the Lions
the
just
draft
moved
or
up.
It's
the
only game
last.
2.
No, that's game. That's
Oh,
game 3.
That's game
That's
3.
game
Oh,
3.
yeah, forget that. It's game 3. It's going to be
That's
hard.
at
Tied
LCA.
1-1?
Yeah.
Or are they down 0-2?
No, they're down 0-2. They're down 0-2.
They're down 0-2.
You send your boy to watch the Pistons, and you stay in and watch the draft. Because
Yeah,
guess
I mean,
what?
the good
I'm watching
news-
the draft with you.
The good news is it's 2025 and Buddy's
Yeah.
downtown is going to have like
I
multiple
know.
TVs.
Right.
I'll
I
be
know.
able to watch both. But in theory, like if I had to pick a room in
Yeah.
each one of those, the draft is more important to me than
I'm telling you.
a playoff game.
I'm going to be at.
If it was a one and done, if it was game 7, all
Yeah,
day.
that's different.
Right. All day.
Yeah.
Easy decision, no problem.
It's
But this is
April. They don't play till
Hey.
September.
It's our Super Bowl.
No, it's not. The Super
is.
Bowl is our Super Bowl.
No, it's our Super Bowl.
That's
still,
crazy to
we
me,
haven't
man.
made it yet,
Literally,
so that's still our
just
Super Bowl.
hold your phone right there while you're watching.
no, you can't.
oh,
you got to
they're
go in a room. Like the whole thing
Oh,
is,
I see.
you're in a
Okay.
locked
You have
closet.
no
Yeah.
phone.
You have no phone, no access
No
to
ticker.
the other one. Yep, that's it.
You got to pick
No
a room,
laptop.
man.
Pick a room, Anson.
Pick a watch
I'm in
party.
the Pistons room.
Pick one.
And I
You
will
better
wait
say
until
that with
after the
that
game
shirt
to see
on.
who we pick.
I'm telling you, man.
Maz, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm watching. I'm going to be at the Pistons game, but I'm definitely
Small
the
flex.
entire game. I got the
small
phone on.
flex.
Hey,
There's
shout
no
out
question.
Oops, sorry, my bad
to a
on that
lifelong Knicks fan
poll. My bad on that poll.
cheering for the Pistons.
Well, yeah,
I
listen.
appreciate that.
Oh, come on, man. That ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. I'm rooting. When anyone asks me, Maz, who you're rooting for, when it's New York versus Detroit, listen, there's one answer only, and it's Detroit.
What year
I'll
did
root
that-
for
what
I'll
year
root
did
for the
that ship
Tigers
sail?
over the Yankees and Mets. I'll root for the Pistons over the Knicks and Nets. I'll root for the Lions over the Giants and Jets. And I'll root for the Red Wings over the Islanders and the Rangers and the Devils. Well, maybe not the Devils. That's it. That's where I ended.
And what year did that happen?
You know how
the
easy it is to
conversion?
describe my fandom? I root for Detroit teams.
I know you do. Say again.
What year did
Same.
you convert?
Same. I don't know.
When I moved here and I started following the teams,
But not like the first year you moved here.
right.
It took some time,
It
right?
took a while.
Okay.
But I'd say maybe 5 years in.
I love you for that, pal.
5 years in.
Love you for that.
Yeah. I love my Tigers, man. And I love my Lions.
People are saying I'm whack in the chat for choosing the draft.
You're not.
Listen,
You're
you
not.
listen. And this is what I told Neil. Listen, Thursday night we're doing a simulcast. We're doing a draft watch party. We're doing a Pistons watch party. Which one you think is going to have more viewers?
Draft
I'm
by
not answering
far.
that.
NFL is king.
Draft by far.
NFL
I'm
is
not
king.
answering that.
And it has nothing. It's nothing personal.
No,
Right.
it's
NFL
business.
is king.
It's strictly
This
business.
business, baby.
It's
I
strictly
don't care if
business.
it's snowing. I want you home. Like this business.
I'm offended too.
Are you
On
offended?
behalf of the chat and behalf of Detroit sports. We haven't won a playoff game in 18 years. And if we're in New York, well, actually, it'd be
in
Thursday.
Detroit,
It's
yep.
a Thursday. It's a 1-1 game. There's less than a minute left, and it's a 1-point game. And you can't wait to read who the guy was drafted versus seeing Goodell say it.
I'm with you, Anthony.
I don't get it.
Actually, no,
drafts
I
are
can't.
boring to me.
Thank you.
Drafts are.
As a
I
man
always
wearing
fall asleep
a
watching drafts.
Lions hat.
Well,
on
Ricky-
his
That's,
face, too.
that's the only reason, because I always fall asleep during drafts.
Well, not
I
anymore,
never
Ricky.
fail.
You're part of Woodward Sports now.
I'm still gonna fall asleep.
No, you're
It's absolutely nothing about my DNA.
Still be napping.
I just can't sit there and wait for decisions.
It's a 7-game series,
I can't
guys.
do it.
There's
Right.
going to be
Nah,
another
we-
game.
we
That's
know
the
it.
But
thing.
it's action.
Y'all are missing the point. Like, there's another game within 2 days afterwards.
So what if you leave the
There's
Pistons
not another
game?
first round of the draft the next day.
That's correct.
What if you leave the Pistons game waiting for them to make their pick? Goodell goes up there. We have a trade. And now you just missed the end of this game because the
You
Lions
missed-
are picking
you missed what I
33
said.
instead of 28.
You missed what I said. The Lions have traded up
Yeah, they traded.
They've
it.
to
already
21.
21.
And it's 10 o'clock
and
at
Harden's
night.
on the board.
You're right there, man. I said that
It's
perfectly.
10, I'm watching the
history.
game.
Hey, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving my Pistons, bro. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
I'll read it in the funny papers.
Hey, tell everybody why we got you.
The papers.
We
You're
got.
talking
You
man's
know why they
language.
said that? Do you know why they used to say
Even I
that?
don't say the funny papers. I say the comics.
No, the funny papers, they used to say that because it was right next to the bits.
I know that, bro.
I know you know that.
Oh, he's telling me I'm back in
Shout
the
out.
20s again.
Little Orphan Annie.
Just showing my age with that one or what?
Get your war bonds here. It's Tom Mesway.
Anson, what are you giving away today? Tell people what you're giving away today.
Yeah, listen, guys. Once again, we've got a Braylon Edwards signed rookie card. He'll get back in this week, and when we send it out to you, it'll come to you signed. I got a few different Detroit sports cards, Detroit Titans sticker. Of course, we got that Woodward apparel, not apparel, but Woodward sticker and a koozie. And then, in honor of that May 7th Topps Chrome
Oops.
V-Friends
My bad. My bad.
release, I'm giving you a Series 2 V-Friends card. These are going to be highly collectible. So get your super chats in. $3 gets you one spot on our wheel that we will run at the end of the show. And what is it? 5 for 10 or 4 for 10?
Yeah, we're going to do 3 for 10.
Just
Right now,
put
we
your
only have
super
Randall
chats in.
Smalls and Phil in there.
Phil.
So
Only
right now,
two?
those two guys are getting something.
And listen, guys, this isn't like before when I was doing these. It's not the most you spend. Every time you spend $3 or more, you're going to get some entries.
You're going
There's
on the
one
wheel.
that week.
Michael Weary.
Michael Weary's got a spot on the wheel.
There we go.